Okay, just a quick update. You can see it's half and half again on the Raider. Last time it was the brown and the primer. This time it's the brown and the number 9 Humbrol, which is tan. Basically, the brown served as the base coat for the tan. 3 coats later, it's gone down really well. You can see its gloss as well. I've left that area brown because I'm going to probably paint that in a dark colour, maybe anthracite. I probably should have left that area brown as well. You can see that I've left that area brown because I wanted a rough edge for my wing to glue onto. You can see that's where the wing will go onto. Talking about rough edges, those of you who use Halford's primer like I do will notice that Halford's primer is a bit rough on when you spray it down and it dries. It's gone through to the brown as well. So what I did, using a tip from the guys over at Brick Modeler, I got some jean material from the seamstress stall in Bilston Market because I had to have my work trousers tuck up a couple of inches, and she let me have that piece for free, and just give it a good rub, and it's actually took the roughness off the brown, so it's ready for the number 9 Humbrol. Just a little tip for you. Stay with me. Right, welcome back guys. As you can see, I've done a little bit more work on the Kazon Raider. 3 coats on the right side later to go along with the 3 coats that I did on the left. You can see there of the number 9 Humbrol, which is the tan. I've also put 2 coats on the underneath. I've got to put a third on, but I need some new brushes before I continue on, because painting the 3 coats, which is basically 3 on each side and 3 underneath, as well as the 2 coats of the brown, they've gone all tatty, but my brushes are very old anyway, so I've got to get a new set. You can see that I've put the wings on now with the clamps. I've got to be very, very careful with this, because basically what I've done is I've ran some glue around the edges and then glue on that section underneath what I hadn't painted, and the clamp is holding that onto that section I hadn't painted. I tried to run some tape around to push that a bit more closer, but to be honest, the clamp is holding it right in, so not too bad. Done the same on the other side as well, as you can see. You can also see that I've put the nose on now. I've wrapped the tape around about 5 or 6 times, as tight as I can. The trouble was, you can see there and round there, look, you can see where the glue has took some of the paint off, because as I was unravelling the tape off the roll, my hand slipped and the nose went with it, and pushing it back into place, some of the glue has took the paint off. So what I'm going to have to do is 24 hours time I'll take the tape off, and you can have a better look at where the damage has gone with the paint, the glue on the paint, and then I'm going to have to sand that down and redo it. But some definite progress being made. Stay with me. Right, welcome back. You can see that I've took the tape off the nose now. You can see that I've took the clamps off the wings. They've gone down really, really well. The wings there's a couple of glue marks here and there, but nothing too major. Nothing the paint won't cover up. The one issue before I explain about the nose, when I was clamping the wings down, you can see on this side here, you can see there's a lot more of a gap between the wing and that bit there. But on that one, it's right close. I don't understand why it's done that. Maybe I could have angled it a bit more as I pushed it into the crack there, into the corner. But it doesn't really matter. Not really bothered about it. Something that you ain't going to notice, to be honest. Right, turning the Raider over, you can see the extent of the damage when I slipped, and the nose actually, because there's actually a little mounting like rectangular shape underneath there. It's like raised, sticks up about maybe 3/4 of a centimetre. See the glue marks there, there's one, there's another one, you got the ones around there, there's another one around that section there, and a little bit around there. Nothing that a bit of sandpaper won't sort out. Not too bad. But it is actually quite sturdy, not bad at all. You can also see that I've primed the last few parts now. But the tape has done its job. Stay with me. Okay, welcome back guys. As you can see, I've done the third coat, the third and final coat, on the underneath of the Raider. I managed to pick up some brushes from the works when I went up Wolverhampton on Saturday after I went to RAF Cosford Museum. You can see the brown handle ones there. It cost me £2 from the works. They'll do for now, and for a bit of general brushing here and there. I got about 10 or 12 brushes for £2. Not bad at all. I'm still going to get me a new set of Humbrol Coloro brushes when I go to Hobbycraft at the weekend. And Crawford black brushes. I used this brush to paint on the third coat. Not too bad. I mean, you can see it's a bit bloody fluffy, but don't worry about it. I also popped to Games Workshop and picked me up a base angled brush and a shading brush for when I do the wash. Anyway, putting those to one side, I've left the neutrino filters on the wings because, to be honest, I'm finding it's hard to find a decent picture of the underneath of the Raider on the various Star Trek websites or other people's builds. Especially on other people's builds, they neglect to show the underneath. So I'm going to do some guesswork with the underneath bits and the sensors and the various bits underneath. I'm probably going to paint them in my own colours. You can also see that on the gravitation deflectors, I've done the insides of those. I'm probably going to put another coat of brown on the tan brown on those. But on the plasma collector walls, they are now finished on the inside. Still going to paint the outside. So those are ready to be mounted onto the outside there with those two little holes. Hopefully I won't have the same problems I did with the nose. Hopefully they won't slip. But I could touch up with the brushes and the paint if that happens again. But definite progress, guys. Stay with me. Right, welcome back, guys. Now, as you can see, I've now glued on the plasma collector walls on now, both sides, as you can see. Now, basically what I did before I glued them on, I put the base coat of the 26 brown on, let that dry for 24 hours, and then glue them onto the sides there, as you can see, because I was hoping that if I put a base coat on top of the Simonese primer, that it wouldn't lift. But again, when I've taped it on, even with the normal household masking tape, it's still lifted. So yes, this is a good primer, but if you need to take those parts down, it will lift. So once this can's used, yeah, it is half the price of the Halfords, but at the end of the day, for $7.50 a can, the Halfords will not lift and I won't have all these problems. So once that's used, I'm never going to buy it again. It's a shame because it's a good primer. So I glued the parts on, as you can see. There's two little holes underneath and then two little tabs on the underneath of the collector walls that sit into those holes. On this side, they went down pretty well, no problems at all. And you can see it's right underneath that little tab as well. But on the other side, I also need to get one of these bloody model turntables. I'm getting sick of doing that. You can see there's some glue marks, because what happened was, even though I lined it up to the holes, that corner there wanted to sit on top of that tab. And when I glued the other side on, I thought to myself, I can't leave it the way it is. So what I did is I retook it out and then put it underneath the tab and then forced this bottom section into the holes with some tape, and it has dried quite well. But you can see when I'd already glued it, when it sat on top of the tab, you can see the glue marks, much like on the underneath. So I'm going to have to get some sandpaper and sand those and then redo that to match that. But it's gone down pretty well, not too bad at all. It's a bit shame with with it lifting the bloody paint, but apart from that, it's not too bad. And then all I've got to do now is just the two gravitation deflectors. But construction is almost complete because that's all I've got to do. Stay with me.